Hello, darling. There you are. Jolly good. And a very warm welcome to Midnight Mass with the Reverend Boaty, which is a bit of a misnomer, really, because Mass is a Catholic thing, isn't it? And I'm a reverend, not a priest, not a father. But it sounded good, didn't it? So welcome to Christmas Eve Live. And isn't this lovely? I get to sing Christmas with some of my favourite people. So, gosh, well, what should we talk about tonight, Dad? Well, let's see who's here, and I will be led by you. Tracy's here, evening all, and Merry Christmas. Oh, there's going to be lots of Christmas spirit. Are you all pissed? Are you all pissed, or any of you still sober? This is my first little drinky of the night, so if you are pissed, I'll catch you up. Barry is here. Merry Christmas, one and all. Better put some tinsel on. Better put some tinsel on the pottering lube. Oh dear. Steve Colg is here. The lovely Jimmy Quinn. Good evening, Jimmy. Good evening, Boaty and all. Merry Christmas. Bad Books is here. Merry Christmas, all. Joe, the lovely Joe Casper JC. Good evening, Jason and all. Wishing everyone a splendid Christmas indeed. John Stoodley is here. Hey, chat. Hey, Boaty. No. Trace has said, lol, cheesy, but I haven't seen anything from Cheeseburger. That's odd. Shall I swap to... God, 26 of you. My goodness. Chat filter, top messages. How do I get it on? Oh, no. No, let's see all messages. And let's see if I've missed one from the good General Cheeseburger. I have. Yeah, here we are. You see, that's being on top messages instead of all messages. I missed one from Cheeseburger. I hope no religious types will be joining us, says Cheeseburger. They're in for a shot. I did wonder about that. I did think about, oh God, I mean, I've put a religious picture up there, me and my dog collar, midnight mass with the Reverend Boaty. God knows. I mean, oh dear, we'd better behave ourselves just in case. I mean, I might get struck by lightning, actually. I mean, if, let's face it, if God is Catholic, I'm in all sorts of trouble. Hopefully I backed the right horse with the old FSM. Oh dear. I bet it's been a busy night at the restaurant, says Barry. What? The restaurant was okay. The restaurant was manageable. It was takeaways. Takeaways were absolutely bloody crazy. Oh gosh. Thank God the restaurant wasn't too bad. So it's been mad. We've just been at it hammer and tongs. I've barely been out. I went out early on, and then Andy was in, the driver, and he's just had to cope on his own. I've run the pass all night. I stripped down, jacket off, sleeves up, and I was sweating like a dray horse. It was just, it's not often we're like that for a continued period of time, but we were. It was a serious kitchen in there tonight, actually. No laughing, no joking, just heads down and really going for it. It's the hardest night's work I've done for a long time, in all honesty, and I am knackered. Hopefully tomorrow will be easier. Seasoned sausages, Count Botula, says Pingu Concord. How are you diddling? Oh, I'm all right. It's been a weird day for a couple of reasons. I'll let you know all about that in a bit. But anyway, good evening, Pingu. Lovely to have you here. Ali Mac Mechanical, Merry Christmas, Boaty. How fabulous to have you. Oh, this is great. Simone is here, Hooked on Classics. Oh, lovely. Andrew's here, Ivor Spotty Botty. A very good Christmas Eve to you all. Bad Books, Mark says, God is the Father, the Son, spelt wrongly, and the Holy Ghost. Forget the rest, as I'm a practicing atheist. Keep practicing, Mark. You'll get it right one day. We want Santa. Yeah, I'm a poor replacement for Santa, aren't I? Oh, hello. Ron McCulloch is with us. That's a joy. We haven't seen Ron for ages. Welcome, Ron. Thank you for popping along. I'm not pissed, says Pingu. I'm just fighting off the allergy. Oh, bad luck, mate. Oh, you're poorly. Andrew says no drinking for me. It's only just gone 10 a.m. here. Lots of people are asking John how he's feeling, which is lovely. James Wilson is here. Merry Christmas, Joe and all. And a very Merry Christmas to all of you, each and every one. The best joke I've seen in recent years at Christmas was whenever it was during the pandemic. And I think it was Alistair Sims as Scrooge, looking out of his bedroom window on Christmas morning, shouting, "You boy, what tier is this?" I thought that was really funny. The Honourable, isn't it funny that I bet we've all forgotten a lot about what went on in lockdown and the pandemic and all of that. All of the tears and this, that, and that's tears with an I, not tears with an EA. Pardon me for a moment, darlings. Now, you mustn't worry, my lovelies. This will not be going on forever tonight. I will leave you. I'm gonna see you through till Christmas, till midnight, and so it's officially Christmas, and then I'm gonna bugger off because I need to be up really early in the morning. I mean, I'd love to know what. Oh, feature one. What are your plans for tomorrow? I'd love to hear about them. I would love to hear about your beautiful traditional Christmases, maybe with family and friends, or well, whatever you're up to. I'd love to know because I'm going to be heaving my ass out of bed um, at an ungodly hour and trying to get to the restaurant by 9 o'clock in the morning, which might turn into about 10:30. But that's the aim because well, there's plenty and plenty of prep to do, and then the punters are going to start rolling in at about 11:30, and then we're just going to be flat out through until, I guess it'll start to ease off probably around 5. I would imagine, but I mean, Christmas Day is wonderful fun, fabulous atmosphere, but by God, it's hard work. And an early start, so I won't be getting too drunk tonight. But yeah, please do tell me about what you've got planned for tomorrow. What meals you're having, and what is your routine on a Christmas morning? Now, Mrs. Boaty and I used to indulge in a champagne breakfast on Christmas Day, which was invariably a mistake. God. The idea is that you just have a glass of champagne, start the day off with a bit, but I mean, we'd neck it, wouldn't we? The bottle would be done within about 40 minutes of us getting out of bed, and then the rest of the day was just a haze. Although at least I used to back off a bit. I used to be in charge of doing Christmas dinner in the latter days. Now, in the early days, Mrs. Boaty did it. But Mrs. Boaty used to overindulge on. She only used to drink sherry on Christmas Day. She was a wine drinker, or a gin drinker, or a cocktail drinker. But she used to have sherry on Christmas Day, and she was always well and truly pissed by the time that dinner was anywhere on the way. And I was a little bit more restrained, but the last Christmas Day that we had together was actually after we divorced. God, it was, gosh, yeah, it would have been, yeah. We divorced in, God, trying to think now. We had that dreadful Christmas when we were going through the divorce, and I was still living at home. Uh, but it was felt that I shouldn't be part of things. So I had a man cave, a garage that I converted into Boaty's hub. And I spent the day in there while the family and extended family all enjoyed. Oh God, that was dreadful. I don't want to talk about that. But the and yeah, and then I moved out in the January, and the divorce became final whenever it was. Probably I don't know when was it. Well, yeah, I don't know, April, something like that. But the following Christmas, we spent Christmas Day together. I was back at the house. But all of the kids were doing their own thing. The younger kids were at their dad's, and the older kids were, or certainly the eldest, they were having their own Christmas Day. The eldest was married by then, so it was just the two of us. So we had nobody to restrain us, did we? And so we did the old champagne breakfast bit, but there was nothing holding us back. And all I can remember is that we bought each other gifts and whatnot. And Maggie had bought me thermal, amongst other things, thermal long johns and a thermal vest. And there was a joke in there somewhere. And all I can remember is that I remember posting on Facebook vaguely, and by about 11 o'clock, the pair of us were totally arseholed. I was I was stripped off, just wearing my thermal leggings. Max was in, oh God, some outfit or other, and we were absolutely steaming pissed. I cobbled together the best kind of Christmas lunch. Oh dear, oh dear. It was a fun day, actually. Anyway, I'm getting off the subject. The Scottish Episcop. Easy for you to say, Ali Mac. The Scottish. I'm going to master this. The Scottish Episcopal still have a midnight mass. Oh, good to know. Oh, hello, Ross is here, Dinosaur Dad. Merry Christmas to everyone. It's a big day here. Just getting up, and an 18th to celebrate too in the form of my daughter. Many happy returns to your daughter, Ross, and have a fabulous day. John is just relaxed and ready for the big day in the morning. Parental guidance warning needed, says Pingu. Happy Christmas all, says Steecle. Video title from Tracy. Behave yourself. Oh no, behave ourselves. It's Christmas. I like that one. Screenshot. Struck by lightning in a dog collar, says Simone. Another Father Ted reference. You can't have enough of them. Oh, feature 2. What's the best thing to watch on Christmas Day? What do you hope will be on? Do you watch television on Christmas Day? Or do you eschew the idiot's lantern and play parlour games instead, like charades? We could play charades. Tell you what, when I catch up with the comments, so that I'm right at the end, we'll have a game of charades. How's that? Ross says, Andrew, I'll be on the champagne shortly. It's after 10 a.m. Good man, Ross. Well done. Get stuck in, my boy. I hear you're racist now, Father. Pingu, glad to hear you're doing well, John. And John has had 3 very exciting kids today. Lovely. Lord Stiff Upper Lip is with us. Hello, Boaty. Hello to you. Joe says, I'm looking for. Here we go. Joe says, I'm looking forward to the new daily diary, seeing the new car to the fleet. You're not going to see a daily diary from today, Joe, and you're not going to see the new car on the fleet. And there's not going to be a video explaining why you're not going to see it. But I am going to tell you guys, I mean, you're minor scrotum. We don't have any secrets from each other. So I'm going to tell you exactly what went on today and what is still going on. And has kind of really rather ruined the day for me. So don't let me forget about that. I'll whiz through the comments and then I will tell you the whole story. And you can give me your advice, all of you. How old are the kids, John? Asks Cheesy. 16, 14, and 10. Oh, nice ages. Nice ages. Nice spread. I love kids. I love being around kids. I get on very well with kids, probably because, you know, the old cliche, I'm still a child myself. But I love kids. I really enjoy their company. I enjoy trying to be a good parent and friend and role model. And I've said before that the thing I miss probably most about past relationships are the children. I miss that terribly. Some of you might have seen, if you're my Facebook friend, you might have seen a video from a couple of days ago, from a few years ago in the Boo days when we went Christmas shopping and I jumped into a trolley and little Miss tried to shove me around the store until the security guard stopped us and told us off. But yeah, and I'm sad that I'm missing out on grandchildren as well. That's yeah, I don't have many regrets in life. In fact, I have very few. God Almighty, you wouldn't dare have the sort of life that I've had if you were going to ask about having regrets later on. But I miss the kids that were part of my life and that I felt were, you know, my own. And I miss doing the grandparent thing. But hey ho, there we are. He needs to tell us the name, says Cheeseburger. Oh, of the car. Yeah. Yeah, because I was torn between the two, wasn't I? James Wilson says, simply having a wonderful Christmas time. Oh, Pingu's got man flu. Sorry about that, Pingu. What a rotten time to get it. Andrew says, Cheeseburger, Ross and myself live in the same state of Victoria. He's in the eastern suburbs and I'm over in the west. Which of those is the posh one then, Ivor? General Cheeseburger says the new WhatsApp group is going very well. Yeah, I think that's going to be quite a worthwhile addition to the community. I will expand it and add specific chat groups for specific things like meetups and whatnot. But it's lovely to see you guys just clattering onto each other when you get a few seconds without having to sit and watch this kind of crap. And as Cheeseburger memorably said in the WhatsApp group, he likes it because it means that he can indulge in shithousery on a 24/7 basis rather than waiting for the live stream. And I can assure you he's doing exactly that. If you would like to be part of this WhatsApp nonsense, then have a look in the Facebook group. There is a link in there, or I don't know, ask me, ping me, send me some details. I'll send you the link, or if you give me a number, I'll add you, or something like that. I don't know. We'll sort it out. I suppose I could put it in the video description. There, that's it. Maybe I should add it to the video descriptions in future after Christmas. It's going to be a busy couple of days. And while I'm telling you about the car, oh, a green thing. Somebody's done something nice. When I tell you about the car upheaval, and oh gosh, I've also got a neighbour update as well. Why do these things always come together? Just when I'm dealing with the car nonsense that I'll come to, knock, knock, knock on the door, and it's the complaining neighbour. like I needed that like a hole in the head. But I'm going to tell you all about that as well. Don't let me forget, darlings. Oh, that's the wrong thing I've just pressed. But yeah, thank you to everybody in the WhatsApp group. We've been catching up with Mike, Classic Wheels Wales, in there as well. So it's really nice because not everybody can make the live streams. Not everybody has got Facebook. So it's another little string to our bow. And I'm really pleased about it. It's lovely to have Cheeseburger and all of the other wonderful regulars on tap. And yeah, it's, I mean, I share sometimes more on the Facebook group than I do in videos because I feel closer to you in there. And I share even more on the WhatsApp group than I do in the Facebook group because, again, it's that little bit more personal. So, for example, yeah, there are pictures and things in the WhatsApp group that nobody outside of the group will have seen, and there are little secrets going on in there as well. Now, it's not exclusive. Don't worry. We're not a secret squiddle society. It's not a two-tier system. Oh, back to tiers again. You boy, what tier is this? Anybody is welcome. Oh, that's slipping down rather nicely. I haven't decided yet what to have for supper tonight. I decided that for my Christmas meal, which will be after the live stream tomorrow night when I'm probably dreadfully drunk, I thought my Christmas meal should probably be Momo. And then as soon as I thought about that, I really want Momo tonight. But I'll probably save it for tomorrow. I might have Chinese chicken curry tonight. I don't want staff curry again. I've had staff curry about 5 nights out of the last 6, and it's amazing, but a change is occasionally nice. And I think I've got onion. I have got onion. I've got chicken. I've got the other doings. I might make Chinese chicken curry tonight after this, and then get to bed at a reasonable time and set my alarm. It's very weird going to the restaurant at the time other people are going to the office. But I'm going to really enjoy tomorrow. I would enjoy it anyway. Pardon me. It's a fantastic atmosphere. I love kind of being part of the team, bringing pleasure to people, making sure they have a fabulous day. But also, let's face it, I'm a sad old tramp living alone in a damp cottage in the arse end of nowhere. Christmas Day would probably be pretty bloody miserable for me if I didn't have that. If I didn't have that to do, wouldn't it? What the bloody hell would I do? There are few options for me on Christmas Day. Bernard's all engaged up again. Yeah, not many options now I come to think about it. So it's a blessing. I'll have a fabulous Christmas Day. I'll be at the restaurant all day. I'll come home. Don't know what sort of time I'm going to be home. I imagine probably 7:30, 8:00. And then I'm going to jump on live at 9 tomorrow night and again go through until midnight or just after. Not full on. I won't be up for doing a full on live stream for 3 hours. But people can dip it out. I'll dip in and out. I'll probably dip in and out a bit. But yeah, it'll be a nice thing. It'll be a nice thing. So I'm really looking forward to that. Oh, and then Momo afterwards. Oh, keep going off topic, don't I? I can't wait to get onto your comments about tomorrow and whatnot. Oh, and here we go. James says it's got to be a Rover Metro or Rover 100, Joe, from the dials. Joe knows what it is. Joe is a good little detective scout. Not only does he know what it is, he knows everything about it because Joe without any details from me or anything, Joe tracked down the advert. He tracked down where an advert for the car, so he knows all about it. But he did promise to keep it secret so as not to spoil the surprise. But yeah, James says it's got to be a Rover Metro or Rover 100, Joe, from the dials. Cheeseburg says, happy Christmas to our Australian friends who are almost halfway through. Happy Christmas indeed. But then James points out, quite rightly, unless it's an LDV van, as they share the dials. They do indeed. And the indicator stalks. And I know this because I had an LDV van. I had a twin axle. I had two twin axle LDV 400s, I think they were, or were they called convoys or something? Not the Sherpa size, the next size up, twin axle on the rear. And they were they were when we were doing the shows, the big shows, all the corporate stuff. And they were carrying all of these sound and light rigs. And I bought them from the Midlands Electricity Board. Cheeseburger will be very familiar with the MEB. They used to have a shop in the Kingfisher Centre way back in the day. I wonder if there's still a thing. I'd love to know. Cheeseburger will tell me. He tells me everything. Cheeseburger is my tie-in to my past. I can't wait to meet him. I can't wait to meet so many of you, all of you. That is my plan, to live long enough to meet you all and annoy you even more than I do. I can annoy you more in person. I'm much more annoying in person than I am on camera, trust me. I mean, at least you can turn me off. Try turning me off in person. Not a chance, especially if I've got a glass of wine inside of me. And at least when I know this is going on YouTube, there's some sort of filter. In person. Talking of that, right, Simone left a comment on one of my videos saying, oh my God, that's the first time I've heard Mustard swear. And I thought, well, fuck me. He swears more than I do. He's got an incredibly filthy mouth. He uses all the words that I won't use. He uses the C word regularly. I don't do that. I can't bring myself to do it. But so there you go. I can imagine that by watching Mustard's videos, you think, what a lovely, kindly, avuncular soul. He would never say a bad word. You come and meet him. He bloody hellfire. Oh, that really took me by surprise. But where was I? Oh, yeah, talking about LDV vans. So, yeah, two from the Midlands Electricity Board. And they had onboard generators, which I think I've told you before. We did the Asda music event where they hosted a live music event in every store in the UK, and we got the contract for it. And that was why I bought the vans, really, because they had their generators. But they also had flashing titties. Being MEB vans, they had flashing titties, you know, the beacons. I used to use those all the time. If we were running late getting to a show and there was a traffic jam on the motorway, titties went on straight down the hard shoulder. Never failed. Or if I was drunk. There's a statute of limitations on crime, isn't there? I use the flashing titties all the time. I can't deny it. Dear. Oh, and here's another tip. If you ever go back in time and don't want to be caught for drink driving, buy yourself a London taxi. The police never pull a taxi. They never pull a Hackney carriage taxi. Anyway, I'm sure that half of the taxi drivers are half pissed most of the time. It used to be a well-known thing in Birmingham. If you regularly drink drive a taxi, you're safe as houses. Obviously, that sort of thing doesn't go on anymore. Oh, I forgot to look at the nice thing that somebody did. There was a green thing. Oh, I'll come to it in comments. I'm sorry I missed that. Anyway, that's enough about LDV vans. Ivor Spotty Botty says the WhatsApp thing is strange to work out. Yeah, it is. I don't use WhatsApp on a regular basis, so I found it incredibly difficult to manage. But I think you're in there now, aren't you, mate? I think I invited you, or you invited yourself to the general thing. Oh, well, the way it works, to explain, I think, I mean, I don't really know. Right. So you've got like a community. It's called Boaty's World, and you've got a community, and that's like an umbrella. I mean, you know what a fucking umbrella is. I don't need to describe the shape to you, surely. I mean, that really is patronizing of me, isn't it? Oh, and patronizing means talking down to people, by the way, in case you didn't know. Sorry, I can never resist that one. So you've got like the community, and that's Boaty's World. So I think you can join that, and then within the community, there are then different chat groups. So the first one is a default that's there whether you like it or not, and that is announcements, and that is just an admin only thing. Anybody can be in it, but only admin can post in it, and apparently that's me. Apparently I'm the admin. Um, Look at me with a title and a badge. Well, I haven't got a badge. I'd like to have a badge. If we have a meetup, I'd like to have a badge saying admin. Me and Mustard always said that when we had community gatherings, we would make people wear a badge with their actual name on it or with their YouTube name on it, so we knew who the hell we were talking to. Because people come up to you and say, "Hi, how you doing?" As if you're really old friends, and you probably are, because you've probably been chatting in comments or on live screens for a couple of years, but you've never seen them in real life before. And if you're not Facebook friends, if you're just YouTube friends, you haven't got a Scooby Doo what they fucking look like. So somebody comes up to you, gives you a big hug, like they're your long lost brother, and you think, well, okay, but who the fuck are you? And so we said we'd get everybody to wear name badges, and we'd wear name badges as well, but we'd wear each other's. So I'd have Captain Mustard, and he'd have Boaty. Although that probably wouldn't really work, would it? Because we're on the videos and whatnot. But why am I talking about this? Oh, I've completely lost the plot now. Completely. Well, we'll have more wine. That's going to help, innit? More wine never hurts. What was I talking about? Oh, I was talking about the WhatsApp thing, wasn't I? Oh yeah, Andrew. Yeah, right. So you've got the umbrella thing, then you've got the announcements, and then you can add other groups. So at the moment, there's just one. That I have inventively that I've titled General Chat. But you don't automatically get added to the subgroups. You have to apply to join the subgroups. So just because you're in the main community, you then need to look at the groups. There's only 2 at the moment, and one of them is a default. And you apply to join those. Does that make sense? But there you go. That's how it works. And I will be adding new groups as and when I think of them. So if any of you have got any requests for groups that you would like, I don't know, community meetups, for sale, wanted, dogging, swinging, hookups, then just let me know and I'll add them and you can crack on with it. Because let's face it, you can't be hacked by the Russians, can you? Nobody will know. What happens in WhatsApp stays in WhatsApp. So if any of you are into wife swapping, then we could have a group for that as well. You could swap your wife for a Rover 45 or something. I'm quite peckish now because of everything that's gone on today. I haven't eaten properly. I will tell you about today, by the way. I just want to get through the comments first. What do you think of High Peak Autos? I've really quite warmed to him. Um, Barry will be spending a day with his family. That's lovely. Oh, Ross is off to open prezzies. Bye all. Have a fabulous day, Ross. You're probably already gone. Ah, Joe says, James, I already know what it is. I've seen the car and the advert. See, I told you. All I'm doing, says Simone, is making a cottage pie, and I fancy tinkering up at the garage. Well, at least it's going to be nice and warm tomorrow. It's going to be a bit moist, but I mean, today was pretty much like one of the warmest days, Christmas Eve's on record, and tomorrow's going to be very mild as well. And I love the idea of a Christmas cottage pie. Diddly do. Oh, Ron's sorting out his Leyland Tiger photos. Excellent. James is just thinking now it might be an LDV Vanjo. Perfect for deliveries. Cheeseburger has got the in-laws coming over. We've ended up with 2 turkeys. Don't ask. I don't think I'm going to go to bed tonight. I don't think I'm going to bed tonight. Don't have to drive anywhere tomorrow. What, are you just going to stay up boozing all night, Cheesy? Oh, well, fair play. Andrew is planning on a very quiet day today and not really up to it this year. In all honesty, fair enough. Hello all, says Carl. Carl Davis is here. Fantastic. Hello all. I'm a bit pissed. Good on you. Cheeseburger says, on Christmas morning, me and Mrs. Cheesy used to be at it like rabbits, and then children came along. Well, yeah, going back to that Christmas, my last Christmas with Max, we had a jolly good go on each other before we got up and started on the champagne. I must have gone round there on Christmas Eve, spent the night, and because I'm a fan of a morning session. Or at least I was a fan of the morning session until until Chinese Madam came along. Shame on you, Carl. You should be very pissed, says Cheeseburger. Steve says, Santa's not coming tonight. I've just seen him getting in the back of an ambulance and he looks drunk. Oh, Mark Passad is with us right in our midst. To all here, and particularly Boaty's lovely community, happy Christmas and a healthy and happy 2024. Lovely. What a lovely message. Thank you, Mark, and the same to you and yours. Oh, bloody hell, John. John's having a TIA as he's typing this. Oh, God help us, John. John, that must be so scary, mate. Oh, God, my heart goes out to you, honestly. Bloody hell. Hurry up, says Andrew. More comments. Best thing to watch on Christmas Day, says Cheeseburger. Boaty Live. Bless you. I don't really watch TV, says James, but has anyone heard Del Boy's coming back either this or next year? Joe only watches TV in the evening at Christmas. My advice, Boaty, flog it. Says nice one, Cheeseburger. Video title, Santa is coming all over the world. I was watching, says Andrew, the Hubnut Christmas Live the other night. Poor Carly was cracking up with some of the comments. A couple of Boaty's World references were thrown in by me. Oh, bless you, were they? Oh, dear. I'm afraid I missed Hubnut Live and Max Live. I will catch up with them at some point. I'm sure they were great because they don't do lives all that often and they've got a massive audience. So it's bound to be a big thing, isn't it? Oh, I found the green thing and it's Steve Colg. Steve Colg has been a connoisseur, top of the range, channel member for 4 months. So brilliant. Thank you, Steve. And he sends a message, Merry Christmas, all my love. Oh, bless you. Thank you so much. And thank you to everybody else who supports me in any way, even if it's just sending me abuse on the WhatsApp group. Andrew says Ross lives in the posh end of town. Oh, and Cheeseburger says, Andrew, you didn't call him Hub, the word I can't say, did you? I'm sure he didn't. I was watching Always Fixing and Tinkering, says Barry. He was testing a Maestro. Good stuff. Video title, Jingle Bells, Batman Smells. God, that brings back memories, Barry. Jingle bells, Batman smells, Robin ran away. Oh, and Andrew says no cheeseburger. I didn't call him that. I'm not unkind. I even received a free membership. Oh, well done, you. Mark has got the pleasure of the Outlaws for Christmas. The broomstick is currently parked in the hall. We've all been there. Cheeseburger says, Andrew, you should be expelled from this group if you have a hubby sub. I've had one twice, and I don't know why. I wasn't on a live stream or anything like that. I just randomly received a HubNut membership thing. Genuinely got no idea why. Cheeseburger says, is she staying with you? Invite her to the live. She'll be gone by Christmas Day. Yeah, 18 minutes to go, darlings. I was given a present yesterday, says Simone. Unwrapped, it's a hi-fi separate DAB radio. I've never owned a DAB before. Well, you lucky girl. I hope you really enjoy it. Brilliant. You can get Radio 4 Extra and catch up on all of the stuff that was a lot better way back then than the stuff is today. The best thing about DAB radio for me is that I can get Radio Wales. I miss Radio Wales and Radio Cymru. Partly because it's just nice to hear the voices from home, partly because I used to work with them, and it's a chance to catch up with old friends or work colleagues or acquaintances. I love Radio Wales. It was an absolute joy when I first got to do some stuff with them. Buddy's got to head out for a bit, but stay safe, everyone, and have a good Christmas. Cheeseburger says, Simone, the quality of DAB doesn't match FM, but the convenience and choice are great. Lovely present. I think I have a Dire Straits box set and a ticket for Springsteen next year. Good for you, Cheesy. I've got I've got a lovely bunch of coconuts, darlings. Joe says, you can't hide anything from me, but my lips are sealed. Cheeseburger says, not even Boaty is mad enough to buy a Metro. Andrew says, Cheeseburger, all I did was type one comment, and the next thing I know, someone gifted me a membership. If only something like that would happen on the BW channel. Presumably that's Boaty's World, this one. It's happened now and then. Mark has been very generous with gifted channel memberships, as had Joe and Neil and many other people that I probably can't remember now. Midlands Electricity Board, says Cheeseburger, were headquartered at Meadow Hill, House Owen. My mum was a typist there. I put a banking line in there in the 90s. Oh, and they were swallowed by a French company after flotation. Ah. Oh, Mark on Motoring is with us. Lovely. Good evening, Reverend Boaty, and Merry Christmas, everyone. Ah, fabulous. Flashing titties. Is Wendy Whoppers on your mind again, Boaty? Taxi drivers are drunk, confirms Steve. So what's happened with the neighbour and the car, Jason asked Joe. I'm going to get to that as soon as I get through the comments. Now they're talking about GTA, and I've got no idea what that is. Not a clue. Where is Carlos, asked Cheeseburger? Is he pissed? Well, come off it. He's bound to be. Christmas Eve, he's going to be lagging. He'll be passed out on a curb somewhere with his underpants on his head. Steve Cole says, I've met Boaty. Yes, they will, Joe. The hookups will indeed be sponsored by Boaty's Pottering Loop. Wife swapping? I'll join that group. I'll have a packet of polos in return. I do, Joe. I do. High Peak Garage says Cheeseburger. Good channel, very honest. Invite him to lunch. And Joe agrees with that. Oh, Carla says, I'm here, Cheesy, and I'm sober. 2 beers and home tonight while we're doing Christmas Eve and all. Oh, Trisha is here. Lovely. We had Christmas dinner with our family today as our youngest son has to work. It was a lovely day, and our 7-year-old grandson was fun. Brilliant. James says, you know, BBC Radio Wales and BBC Radio Cymru are on FM, Boaty. Well, they are up here, tunable in Lancashire. Anyway, I did know that, and I can pick them up sometimes when I go to the yard, but I can definitely pick them up when I go to Liverpool. But I can't get them here, unfortunately. Jimmy has just opened his second bottle of wine. Christmas present. I have a lovely bunch of coconuts. Is a video title suggestion from Cheeseburger. Jimmy F500 says, surely you didn't podger the neighbour. And Simona's got no idea when she's next going to have a film out. Oh, a little milestone today, darlings. 1,000 videos. I posted my 1,000th video today, which isn't bad going in 18 months of half serious YouTubing. I think it averages out at just under 2 videos per day. 12 minutes till Christmas, says Joe. Right, okay, let's tell you about today. Oh, God, where to start? Okay, so as all of the WhatsApp peeps will know, okay, so a deal came about. No, they don't, Cheeseburger. Thank you for just asking that, you shithouse. Oh, I enjoyed the boxing last night, by the way. I haven't seen it yet. I listened to it on the radio. Oh, and the 1,000th video was great, says Cheeseburger. That's very kind. I've done that one, Andrew. Video title, All I Want for Christmas is My New Turkish Teeth. Already done it. Simone's got 242 films. Bit of catching up to do there, Simone. But I'm glad you enjoyed the 1,000th video. It's one of my absolute favourites. I even got praise from Skick for it. And, you know, that's serious stuff when Skick praises you. He even said that it's a video he's going to save so he can watch it again and again. Wow. Okay, so there was a deal in the offing. And a chap had a car that I really rather fancied. Due to a very specific set of circumstances, he needed to swap it for something more modern and usable. He came up to see me. I drove his car. He had a look around mine, and then he went away. And then 1,000 videos is impressive going, says Mark. When are we doing lunch, Boaty? Good question, Mark. When are we doing lunch? Good question. Any Monday to suit you after the 2nd. The 2nd we're doing James, JM. And then the 9th. So from the 9th or the 9th onwards, any Monday that suits you is absolutely grand, Mark. Carlos says, is the WhatsApp group going to make my phone beep 300,000 times a day? Because that will give me the right fucking ump. Not quite that many. And I get a little bit of pleasure every time I hear that ping, that very specific WhatsApp ping. So I know that you lovely people are chatting. I know it's not for me because nobody WhatsApps me. So I don't get the right fucking hump over it. Oh, and Joe says you can mute the notifications. It was shit cheeseburger. It was a fucking train. Well, yes, it was. So he came up. I drove his car. We had a chat. We had a look around. Blah blah blah. He went away. Later that day, the messages began. Good point, Joe. Messaging you, Jason. You have to wait 2 decades for a reply. I'm shit with messages. I openly admit it. Don't take it personally. So then the messages began, and he decided that he would like to do a deal on the Streetwise Barney. And I said, fine, I'm open to that. I'm fine, I'm open to that. I told him, I gave him the link to all of the videos featuring the Streetwise. He watched them all. I told him what had happened to it since the videos, and I told him about all of the faults, blah, 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 blah. He then vaguely proposed a deal. I said, I'll be totally honest with you guys. I said, that's not a fair deal. I need to give you more money as well. Because, I tried to be reasonable and honest and above board and all of that shenanigans. So I said, I think it would be fairer if I gave you the car and this amount of money. And he said, well, if you're happy with that, then that's a deal. Do you mind if I insured it immediately? And if you could send me a picture of the with the number on the green slip, I can tax it. I said, fine, when do you want to do the swap over? He said, is there any chance you can do it tomorrow? And I said, it's going to be tight, but yes. Tomorrow being today. So today I got up super early. I was up at 8 o'clock this morning. Edited my daily diary, edited and finalized my 1000th video, did all of that. Took me hours. And then drove to this chap's house to do the swap over. Everything went okay. Found the house, no problem. I knew his car. I knew that there were problems with it. I said, so, do you want to have another drive? Do you want to have a proper look around? No, he didn't want to do. He didn't want to do that. So I gave him the money and all of the bits and pieces. He gave me some bits and pieces for his car. And he insisted that we do 2 private sale contracts. Hang on. He insisted that there were 2 private sale contract things to be signed, saying blah 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 blah. I've checked, inspected this car. I'm perfectly happy with it. I'm happy it's suitable for my needs. They were just pro formas downloaded off the web. One was I'm talk about belt and braces, doing 2. One was the AA, one was another one. And it's sort of saying that, I accept this is a private sale. Cars are sold as seen. I've had the opportunity to inspect, blah, blah, blah. All of that kind of thing, the sort of thing, and detailing the cars and the deal and everything. I said, fine, I haven't got a problem with that. I knew that there was a slight issue with the car. It's an old car. You know me. I go and buy cars sight unseen. I don't quibble. I don't ask about. If I say I'm going to buy something, I go and buy it. and if there's an issue with it, then I take it on the chin. That's that's down to me. So so all of these things are done. I walk him around the car. I offer to help with this, that, and the other if need be. I put him 35 quid worth of petrol in it because he said he'd filled his car up, which cost 35 quid. So I put 35 quid of petrol in Barney. And off I went in the new car. And I took it straight up to a notable dogging location, in my mind. You know where I mean. I filmed there quite a lot. And I've just collected this car film. This is a new car. Didn't get really chance to do a walk around because the wind was howling. But, I did this is the new car. It was going to be part of the daily diary. I'd done a video driving down. And then I videoed the drive from there going home, and I did an extended drive because I was getting to grips with the car and I was talking about stuff and all of that. And before I even got home, my phone had pinged. And then by the time I got home, made a little bit of lunch. And it was the chap. And he's kind of saying, oh, I think I might have made a mistake. I think I might need my car back. And I'm saying, well, that could be a bit of a nightmare because money has been spent. I've had to, I've insured another car. This, that, you know what it's like when you get a new car, you insure, your tax, you spend money on this, you do this, that, and the other. I said, don't worry, it'll be fine. You'll be great. And then he said, oh, I'll just run it until I'll run it until February, and then I'll sell it. And I said, fine. You won't have a. And he mentioned the figure he was going to sell it for, and I said, well, don't sell it for that. You're massively underpricing it. It's genuinely worth more than that. Especially if I specifically gave him extra money to cover the the little thing with the electric window that's been that just happened over the last few days. Well, I wanted to give him extra money so he could just go to a garage and get that sorted straight away. I mean, it's a piffling little job. You might not even need to take the door card out. You might just be able to take the thing out of the door, because it's going to be somewhere in the door hinge, isn't it? Where there's just going to be a little thingy in the wire or something like that. So between us, I gave him an extra 300 quid, more than he wanted, so that he could cover that, anything else that came up. He's not a mechanic type person, much like myself. So I thought, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Oh, hello, Winslow Burdett. Oh, God, it's Christmas Day, darlings. We've just gone midnight. Happy Christmas. Cheers, your very good health. Hey, here we go, Christmas Day. And I'm banging on about car nonsense. Well, let's have a minute where we just celebrate Christmas Day coming along, shall we? And then I'll tell you the rest of the car story and the neighbour story. Oh, this is nice. Everybody's wishing each other glad tidings of joy. Tidings of comfort and joy, innit? Bum thoughts and joy, everybody. I'm waiting for an admin to approve. Oh, fucking hell, Carlos. All right, you say Merry Christmas to each other. I'll go onto the WhatsApp group and bloody well accept. God almighty. Hold on, where is it? WhatsApp. Oh, yes, Carlos TM requested to join. There you go, mate. You have been added. Don't say we didn't warn you. Is it too early to open my 2 presents? No, you go for it, Simone. And a Merry Christmas to you too, Carlos. Joe, I'll get to it. So, and the messages just keep pinging in. I'm really sorry, but I need to blah 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 blah. And I'm sort of so, and at this time I'm trying to get ready for work and whatnot because I've taken a big chunk out of my day to go and do all of this. And it's Christmas Eve. I've got to get to work and whatnot. And I'm just sort of saying, well, I'm really not very happy about this. You've made me sign a thing saying that this is final, complete, no swap backs, blah blah, all of that sort of thing. And I'm going to be really significantly out of pocket over this, not to mention the inconvenience. And he basically said, not in a nasty way, but he basically said, well, I'm sorry, but that's tough. And I thought, well, that's not really how it works, is it? And then the messages started. I had to have, I had a bath and a shower. Just, getting ready for get to work Christmas Eve. I've got a load of stuff to do as well because obviously with Barney gone, my daily, I had to dig wet leg out, the plan being to take wet leg to the restaurant and then swap the cars about in the restaurant yard so that I could get Sheeson out, hoping that the battery was still okay and the punctured tire that I repaired was still inflated, and do all of that before Christmas Eve kicked off. So I'm really up against it. And the messages are just becoming a little bit more like, one of them was, so when can I have my what the card is back? And I'm just thinking, well, A, I'm at work, or I was driving to work at the time, and B, it's not your car now. Deal's done. I've paid for it. We've done contracts and things. So, I mean, by all means, you can say, look, I think I've made a mistake, and I regret it. Is there any chance that between us we can agree to blah blah blah? That's one thing. But to just say, so when do I get my car back? You can't. You've sold it. You've sold it. You can't just automatically decide that you want to unsell it, or at least I don't think you can. So, but then I'm at work, so that's where. Oh yeah, but I missed out the neighbour bit, didn't I? So just before I go to work, when I'm in the midst of dealing with these messages and thinking, oh fuck, what do I do here? I could do without this, ruining the bloody day. And I'm panicking about getting wet legs sorted and getting to work, getting the car swapped over. In the middle of all that, my complaining neighbour, there's a knock, knock, knock on the back door, right? Only the neighbours knock on the back door because we've got the shared area at the back. And I thought, fuck you now. I thought, oh, I really don't need this. Really don't need this. And I opened the door and it's Nick. And I said, hello, Nick. And I'm just thinking, what have I done? What have I done now that he's going to complain about on Christmas Eve? Bear in mind, we haven't spoken since since the since the day after, or a couple of days after we had the thing outside at the front and whatnot. And then there was, you remember, there was the letter to the landlord that I presume came from him and stuff. And I just thought, fucking hell, thank you, God. This is like the last thing that I bloody. This is the last thing that I need. But I thought, take that. So I thought, okay, go on. So I said, hi, Nick, how you doing? And he said, I won't mention the name because, well, I've mentioned his name, haven't I? So that's indiscreet anyway. But he said, Julie's made some limoncello with this vodka. He said, and it's really brilliant, really nice. It's a bit kick-ass, he said. So I brought you a little bottle round. I said, oh, I mean, the relief was immense. I thought, oh, well, thank you very much. That's really sweet. And then he said, and I've got you this. I've got you this bottle of sherry. He said, it's. I hope you like sherry. It's a really good one. And he said, and I hope you have a lovely Christmas day tomorrow. I just wanted to pop round, give you these, and wish you a very, very Merry Christmas. And oh my God, I was so taken aback, and I'd not invited him in or anything. I'm standing at the door thinking, we'll have the argument outside. I mean, no, we're not. And I just said, oh God, I really appreciate that. That's so lovely. Thank you so much. And that kind of lifted it a bit. So I thought, well, thank God for that. We're obviously okay. I mean, I like Nick. I've always liked Nick. And he's massively helped me out in the past. Remember last winter, he got his bum out of bed when I was stranded in Barney and got me out. And he's a lovely guy. He just keeps himself to himself a bit. He's not like, and we talk about cars and stuff. Well, we did talk about cars and stuff. So it's not like I don't like him or anything, but then, I upset him or annoyed him or whatever. And then we hadn't really, other than a little clearing the air chat a few days later. And that was the time when I said, look, are the live streams annoying you or interesting? And remember, that was when I started using the microphone and all of that sort of thing. And obviously the reason that he hasn't spoken to me is that apparently I haven't pissed him off. So, and it's given me a lovely Christmas present. So I'm really, really chuffed about that. Really chuffed about that. And I won't disturb them on Christmas Day, but because that put me in a massively Christmas spirit, then on Boxing Day, I'm going to go around the whole row of cottages, all the other 4 cottages, and I'm going to give them all Momo and chutney with my very best wishes. It's a massive relief to know that we haven't actually fallen out. So that was lovely. That was a Christmas present in more than one way, and it kind of made up for the grief with the car. But so going back to the car, before you ask, and that is it up to speed now. I didn't reply to the last message. I've been mad busy all night. I got home about 6 minutes before I started this live stream. I've not a chance to reply, but at the moment, my feeling is, why should I be inconvenienced and out of pocket? Plus the fact that I love the new car, and I don't mind that I'm going to have to do some work on it. I'm happy. A deal was done, the money was paid, contracts have been exchanged. I mean, am I reasonably entitled to just reply to him, not being unpleasant or anything like that? He's a lovely guy, but just sort of saying, sorry, it's not an option. The deal's done. That's it. I mean, I'd do, if he really can't get on with the streetwise, whatever reason, I'd gladly help him to sell it. Um, you know, if circumstances allowed, I'd even buy it back off him. I can't do it at the moment, but I'd buy it back off him at some point in the future. But I really want to hang on to the car that I've bought and paid for, and paid him more than he wanted for it. So, given that, as I understand it, given that it's a private sale and buyer beware, caveat emptor, and all of that, he can't just change his mind and demand it back, can he? And that's what he's doing. He's demanding it. He's just saying, "This is going to happen. When's it going to happen?" Can I, can I just say, "I'm really sorry, mate, but no, it's not an option." Let me know, all 38 of you. God, 38, 38 at 12 minutes past midnight on Christmas Day. Back to the comments. I won't read out any ones that are nasty, by the way. Right, I've answered that. Is the vendor a channel member? Not a channel member, but they are now a subscriber, which is why I've not put the video up, and why I'm not putting video up saying this is what's happened. I'll do it on a live stream, and I deliberately did it at the end of a live stream because only the inner scrotum are going to go an hour into a live stream to find out this. But I'm not going to put it on video yet. So that's why you're not getting a daily diary. I've got some great footage in the can of. I just drove the car up to Shillitoe Woods, recorded in Shillitoe Woods, and then did a little extended journey home and videoed all of that. Quite excited, disappointed that the car isn't working entirely properly, but take it on the chin. I'm not complaining. It's a 1.1K series. What's the worst that it could be? So there we are. There we are. Simone got 25 quid donation to the channel, trying to decide what to buy for which project. Oh well, the agony and ecstasy of choice, Simone. But well done on getting 25 quid. Tell him to foxtrot, says Cheeseburger. He can try and enforce the contract if he understands it, and that's at his cost until he wins. Did he sign the V5? Well, the contract, to enforce the contract, would mean that the sale was complete. The contract explicitly states that that once the money has been paid, full title passes to the new owner, and the money has been paid. He's in possession of the money. So if the contract were enforced, he ain't got a leg to stand on. Not that I want to get into a legal wrangle. You've both signed sold a scene paperwork, says Joe. So how can he go back on a deal? And then there's a little bit more. Steve Nespaul is with us. Evening, Boaty and the rest of Western civilization. Merry Christmas and all of that wonderful stuff. He didn't say wonderful stuff. He said bullshit. But that's kind of ruining the mood of it, isn't it? Cheeseburger says, tell him you will sell it back to him at a price to cover your costs. You don't want Barney back. There is no basis to invalidate the contract. Absolutely. Absolutely right. There isn't. But, I'm not normally as hard-assed as that, but I think I might be on this occasion. it's just the combination of the massive inconvenience that I've gone to, um, and then the idea that okay, you do all of the contract bit, and so you get all of that done. And he specifically said because I'm old school, so contract all done properly. You know, the inference being honourably like gentlemen. Fair enough, not a problem. And I never squeal. I never squeal. I'm an old school car trader, car dealer. I buy a car, I buy a car. If it breaks down 2 minutes later when I'm on the way home, tough. That's that's my bad luck. And then vice versa. So when I was chugging up the hill because it's I don't know what's wrong with it. He said it's only just happened on the day that he brought it up to see me, and it has been very recently serviced. And it's kind of dropping a pot under load. So I was overtaken by a car going up a hill at walking pace. I could easily have been overtaken by a middle-aged woman on a bicycle. But I'm not going to complain about that. 40 people watching, says Trace. Did I hit 40? I don't think I've ever hit 40 before. I wonder if that's a peace offering, says Joe, talking about the shedding and whatnot. Like, I made a mistake and sorry kind of thing. Well, maybe. I don't think it'd be I made a mistake. I mean, you know, I didn't realize that I could be heard when I was, because, you know, we're going back to back end of summer now. And I didn't realize I was disturbing anybody. I would never do that in a million years. And when we had the clear the air chat, he said the first thing you did was apologize, and you seemed really, you know, abashed, and I appreciated that. And of course, then I went on to say that, you know, I'll do everything I can to avoid any further disruption. Just let me know. So maybe it's a kind of thanks for the efforts that you've made, and you're not disturbing us anymore. So it's all good. Happy Christmas. And that's lovely. And now I just feel guilty. I've not got him anything or anybody else, the ones who haven't fallen out with me. So, like I say, I'm going to give them all Momo on Boxing Day. But it was a bit of a heart melty thing. And I'm kind of sorry that when he first knocked the door and I opened it, I probably appeared, because of the other situation, I probably appeared slightly defensive and standoffish. But, you know, I mean, you know, he did kind of, well, anyway, there we are. No cheeseburger. Oh, John's back, bless him. John had a TIA. I'm back. I feel really sick and dizzy. I passed out, but I'm okay. Bloody hell, John, that's terrible. Cheeseburger says Nick got out of bed, pushed the rover. He did more than push it, bless him. He dug it out and he chiseled the ice, and then Boaty did a live stream that woke him back up. I'm not even going to show that one, Jimmy. That's a bit beyond the. That's lovely of Nick, says Mark. Great to know you haven't pissed him off. Weren't the Momo pissed them all off? No, they'll love the Momo. Simone's off. Night all. Ta-ta for now. Oh yeah, start saying your goodnight, darlings. It's 20 past. I've got to eat and get to. What did I say I was going to eat? Oh, I'm going to have Chinese curry, aren't I? Oh, I'm looking forward to that now. And then I need to get my bum to bed and set the alarm. At least I haven't got a daily diary to edit in the morning, sadly. You're fully entitled, mate, says Joe. He got you to sign a sold a scene contract for goodness sake. Take care, John. Thinking of you. I echo that, and I'm sure we all do. Cheeseburger says, Boaty, ignore him. He can make all the running. If you engage with him, he will push you. Contracts protect you. Hit the like and thank you, Cheesy. Good advice. Hit the like, anybody that hasn't, says Bad Book. Oh, 24 of you have. 24 likes, 36 people watching. God, it's like I'm popular like mustard. This is lovely. Trisha says, I would say no, but I'll give you first refusal if I move it on. That's quite a good shout. You've called it Carly. Give it him back. No, I haven't called it Carly. I have given it a name. And, oh, I don't want to keep you too much longer, but very, very quickly, I've got history with a Rover 100, the WhatsApp group. Oh, the car. I might as well tell you, you all know. It's a Rover 111i. It's a 1995 entry level poverty spec Rover 111. In other words, a 1.1 litre Metro, but the Mark IV, I think, i.e., the very last facelift before the NCAP ratings came in. It scored a 1, the lowest possible score, and nobody ever bought another one because they are death traps. But that's what it is. And I've got history with one. When I was with my lovely Lisa, and we were living in her place, which was a beautiful old post office converted thatched cottage in a village called Rockbeer, just outside of Exeter. So when I was staying with her, living with her, I mean, we went to Cyprus eventually, but there was a summer, I think it was the summer, as I recall, where I was commuting to work to the showrooms in Birmingham from Exeter. And she suggested she had a Rover 100, whatever it was. I can't remember exactly. I know it was red. Can't remember if it was Nightfire or the flat red. I honestly can't remember, but I know it was a Rover 100. And she said, why don't you take my car? It'll save you a fortune on fuel. Now, and she said, I'll use yours because all I do is I drive just to the edge of Exeter, 3 or 4 miles, to the park and ride, park the car up, get the bus into town, into where she worked. At that point, she'd left the airline she was managing, and she was working with a solicitor's office. That's a story in and of itself. So, did she want to save me money by sending me off to do my whatever it was 200, so like 400-mile daily commute in a Rover 100, or did she want to drive a Porsche 928 GTS to the park and ride, and being a stunning model type bird, well, not a model type, she was a model, being a stunning model, did she want to attract some attention when she drew up to the park and ride with all of these commuting business gents in a super flash 928 GTS, where she would climb out with all of her legs and everything on show? Well, obviously the answer is that. But I loved that. She loved that Porsche. She'd always wanted a Porsche, and she loved it. She loved having it. Milo, his name was, and she loved having Milo as a daily. And she was as much into it as I am. So she'd rock up to the park and ride, flash everybody an incredible smile and a good glimpse of her legs. And she would talk to Milo and tell him that, chill out, enjoy your day, mummy, all of this. And she'd tell the car park attendant to properly look after him. And she just loved it all. And meanwhile, I'm chattering back to the Midlands in a bloody Rover 100. So that's the connection with the Rover 100. I've never owned one personally, but that was my time with one. So with the new car, if it is my new car, and I'm not sure, I wanted to give it a name that was connected to all of that. And, the immediate thought was Anal Queen, but that's just, I spent a lot of time up that woman's bottom, but that's not an appropriate name. I've got enough inappropriate names. So, Lisa was obsessed by Tigger to the extent that on our first date, which, as I've said before, was a blind date. I've given the story behind that, but I drove down to Exeter from Birmingham, picked her up. We went to a local pub, had a meal. I fell head over heels in love. Um, I was in the Porsche when I went down, and she was telling me she'd always dreamed of having a Porsche, blah, blah, blah. So she went for a drive in it, hit a curb. You know, the alloys weren't expensive at all. And we went back to her place, and we watched the Tigger movie because she is obsessed by Tigger. And I mean, you know me, I don't watch television. And I think you can imagine that having driven however many miles it was, paid for quite an expensive night out, and I'm with a woman that I fancy as much, if not more, as any woman I've ever fancied in my life. You can probably imagine where my thoughts were lying. But no, we sat in that thatched cottage and we watched Tigger, the movie. And I loved it because she was sharing her, little private pleasure with me. And that was lovely. And it was a lovely, lovely moment. And then we went upstairs and I podgered the bejesus out of her. But so I thought the ideal name for the new car would be Tigger. It kind of looks like a bit of a Tigger. And the wonderful thing about Tigger is that Tiggers are wonderful things. But yeah, so it's all gone a bit, I don't know. So there you are. That's it. It's not very Christmassy, is it? Where did I get to? Will the unknown banker buy Barney back? Oh, it could be undone, Joe, but I would be out of pocket. I wouldn't have the car that I think that I've bought fairly and squarely, and I'd have had a load of inconvenience. I'm not inclined to do it. Don't forget to like, says Jimmy Quinn. Got 30 likes. 30 likes. I've never had 30 likes. This is amazing. Thank you very much. It really must be Christmas. Cheeseburger says, buy a car from Bristol Street Motors. Go back and say I've changed my mind once outside of the cooling off period and see what they say. There is no cooling off period in a private sale. Well, exactly that. Christmas, you can have your presents on Boxing Day is a video title from Cheeseburger. And now we are all saying good night. If you're keeping the car, just do the daily diary, says Joe. I don't know. And if he comments, just block him. Yeah, I'd already figured that out. Oh, Skick's here. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And to you, Skick. Remember, guys, I will be here tomorrow night for the proper Christmas live. Oh, I've no idea, Mark. I've not investigated. You have to keep the Metro, says Joe. It's a perfect fleet member and it will make for brilliant content. I know it will. Believe me, when I was driving it back and doing the video, that all went through my mind. Taking that to real would be a fantastic adventure. Name for car, Poo Sticks. Oh, that's not bad, actually. All this and more on WhatsApp, says Andrew. Cheeseburger says you swapped a Porsche for a Metro. She must have been fantastic in bed. What? You know when you have somebody that's fantastic in bed, and you know when you have somebody that is so stunning that you don't care whether they're fantastic in bed because they're just so stunning. She was those two things put together. God Almighty. I mean, oh, we'll go there another night. You're right, Joe. Normally, that was the initial thing that, yeah, just don't want the hassle, send it back. But at the moment, I'm thinking, sod it, I'll tough this one out. Jimmy, just block the bloke on all platforms. Your community will back you. A deal is a deal. And if you take the metro to Rill, make sure Neil is with you, says Cheeseburger. Darlings, I've kept you too long. And you all need to get to bed so that Santa comes down your chimney and empties his sack into the end of your bed. We'll catch up on this tomorrow night, darlings, and I will. Okay, so at the moment, with a few glasses of wine inside me, my initial thought, my current thought, is if he contacts me tomorrow on Christmas Day, I'm just going to say, sorry, it's not an option. I'm not willing to do it. And just see where we go from that. I'm not going to bed, says Cheeseburger. See you tomorrow. I bloody am. I've got a hard day of work. Good night, everyone, says Tricia. Hope you have a lovely day. See you tomorrow, Boaty, says the wonderful Jimmy. God, I do need to eat. I didn't get a proper lunch today, darlings, which is probably a good thing for my waistline. I need more days where I don't get a proper lunch. That's it, Mark. Don't you go falling over the broomstick. Darlings, have the most fabulous day tomorrow, please. Have the very best day that you can, especially you, John. Well, especially all of you. I will, Joe. Can you wish Ram and all at the restaurant a Merry Christmas from me, Jason, please? Of course I will. And Santa's going to do what, says Mark. And yeah, of course I will. Of course I will. In fact, I might even video it. I'll try and get some footage of the restaurant tomorrow. Christmas Day is kind of a bit magical. So yeah. Right. Okay. Let's wrap this one up. It's 25 to 1. I've gone on 35 minutes longer than I intended to. Have a fabulous day tomorrow. Have a safe and peaceful night tonight. I hope Santa brings you everything you dream of. And I will be here from 9 till somewhere around midnight or God knows when tomorrow in a kind of laid back, jump in, jump out. Who am I kidding? You know, I'm going to be sitting there rattling all bloody night. Oh, right. Jolly good. I'm going to have no choice, Mark. No choice not to work too hard. It's drive safe tomorrow. I will. I'm in Sheeson tomorrow. Wet Leg is now at the restaurant, by the way, parked up in the yard. Probably a good place for her because the yard is all high walled and protected. So she's a lot more protected there than she is in. I mean, just to let you know, so I've got Sheeson in pole position here and Tigger, stroke car that might not actually be mine, even though I've bought it and paid for it. Tigger is in the pits over there. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow, darlings. Have a great day and a very Merry Christmas to you all. And if I get a chance tomorrow, I'm going to rewrite my Christmas poem in your honors. See you on tomorrow's live. You will indeed, Joe. Live and dangerous and possibly full of no, it won't be. I was going to say full of champagne. Who am I kidding? Who am I kidding? Joe, I agree. I agree. Honestly, Joe, I'm really tempted to just In fact, I'm more than tempted. I'm kind of decided to try and just tough this one out and say, sorry, no. For once, I would like not to be the nice guy. For once, I would like to say, no, I've done nothing wrong here. I've done absolutely nothing wrong here. And I don't see. Hello. Oh, okay. That's WhatsApp. I don't see why I should be inconvenienced and out of pocket, to be honest. Normally, I would just bend over, but no, sod it. On this occasion, I'm tempted to just say, no. Anyway, there we are. What happened to midnight mass? Sorry, I turned out not to be Catholic enough. Right, that is it. Yeah. Okay, thank you to everybody for being with me tonight. Okay, now we can. Right, before this gets really, I am going to bugger off. I'm going to get something to eat. I'm going to get changed, and I'm going to try and be in bed before. Oh God, it's going to be 1:30, 2 o'clock, isn't it? I've got a mustard video to catch up on. Oh, a very happy Christmas to you all. Have a fabulous day. See you on Christmas night, 9 o'clock, or whenever you can make it. Good shout, Trace. That could be the one. All right, darlings. See you tomorrow. Merry Christmas.